In the heart of the Amazon, legends aren't just stories. They're waiting to be discovered. Today, we're diving into a thrilling adventure where immortality meets mystery. Meet Frank, a charismatic riverboat captain with a secret. He's over 400 years old, cursed to wander the Amazon forever. And Lily, a brilliant botanist whose determination might just change the world. Before we set sail on this wild adventure, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Let's dive in. Deep in the core of the Amazon, a legend speaks of the tears of the moon, a mystical tree with petals that can heal any injury and break even the darkest curses. For centuries, adventurers have pursued this dream, but none as ruthlessly as the Conquistador Aguirre. Driven by greed, he betrayed the tree's guardians, unleashing a curse that confined him and his men to the Amazon River, eternally trapped, their goal forever out of reach, unable to leave or die. Fast forward to the present, the legend continues, and siblings Lily and McGregor have a strategy. The clumsy gentleman pitches the society elite on an expedition to discover the tree, equipped with a map and fierce determination. But behind the scenes, it's Lily who manages everything. When the society refuses them access to the arrowhead, the key to the tree's location, and the answer remains emphatically no, Lily takes matters into her own hands. Dressed as a man to blend in, Lily infiltrates the society's halls, slipping past the sinister Prince Joachim. With precision and nerve, she grabs the arrowhead, igniting a high-stakes chase. Outmaneuvering Joachim's men with her quick thinking, Lily escapes with the prize, barely. Oh my gosh! Meanwhile, Joachim vows revenge, leaving a path of destruction in his wake. Now armed with the arrowhead, Lily and McGregor prepare to embark on a daring journey into the jungle. Their aim isn't just to claim treasure. It's to uncover the tree's power to change humanity's future. But the jungle is merciless, and danger lurks around every bend. Meanwhile, the story introduces Frank, a charismatic trickster and river skipper operating a rickety but serviceable boat along the Amazon. Frank thrives on entertaining naive English tourists with staged jungle adventures designed to appear dangerous but completely orchestrated. Hands in the boat. Everything that you see wants to kill you. From fake attacks by crocodiles to exaggerated warnings about harmless wildlife, Frank's schemes are as creative as they are profitable. He even partners with a local tribe who willingly participate in his antics to keep the charade alive. As Lily and McGregor arrive in the bustling river town, they begin their search for a trustworthy skipper. Lily, ever methodical, heads directly to Nilo's office, having heard that he controls most of the boats in the area. Coincidentally, at the same time, Nilo confronts Frank over a hefty unpaid debt. "My money, Frank, where is—" "Oh, you mean this money?" As punishment, Nilo confiscates the engine from Frank's boat, leaving the trickster scrambling for a solution. As Lily arrives at Nilo's office, she unwittingly meets Frank, who is broken in, determined to retrieve the key to his confiscated engine. Ever the opportunist, Frank pretends to be Nilo and listens as Lily passionately explains her need for a skilled skipper to lead an expedition deep into the Amazon. She offers generous payment, "I have a lot of money," outlining her plan to find the mystical tears of the moon. Intrigued by her determination and the promise of a hefty payday, Frank uses his charm to gain her trust. He persuades Lily to unlock the box containing the engine key, feigning curiosity about her mission while secretly celebrating his success. With the key in hand, Frank enthusiastically agrees to take the job. Their negotiations continue at a nearby restaurant. 10,000. I take you there myself. I am my best captain. Fine, 10,000. Where? Frank works to solidify his role as the expedition's leader. Just as it seems Frank has charmed his way into the deal, McGregor arrives, this time with the real Nilo in tow. Mr. Nilo. The ruse is exposed, and Lily is furious at Frank's deception. She's on the verge of leaving when chaos erupts. A jaguar bursts into the restaurant, sending patrons into a frenzy. While Nilo cowers in fear, Frank leaps into action. With quick thinking, he grabs a stake and uses it to outsmart the jaguar, drawing it away from the crowd. His bravery and ingenuity leave a lasting impression on Lily. Despite her anger over his earlier lies, she decides to hire Frank on the spot, recognizing his resourcefulness and ability to handle danger. The following morning, Frank picks up Lily and McGregor at the dock, his battered boat ready for the journey ahead. However, their departure is far from smooth. Joachim's men, still hunting for the arrowhead, ambush Lily and kidnap her as Frank and McGregor hastily escape on the boat. Lily proves she's no damsel in distress. Using her wit and physical skill, she outsmarts her captors in a daring escape, reuniting with Frank and McGregor after a thrilling chase through the bustling port. Their troubles don't end there. Joachim, now in command of a submarine, emerges dramatically from the river, revealing his ambition to use the tears of the moon to aid Germany's efforts in World War I. He opens fire on Frank's boat, forcing the crew into evasive maneuvers. When his gunfire fails, Joachim launches a torpedo, but Frank's quick thinking saves the day. He expertly navigates the boat, tangling the torpedo in a rope and sending it back toward the submarine. The resulting explosion crashes the submarine into the dock, obliterating Milo's fleet of boats and leaving Joachim seething with frustration. As they continue deeper into the Amazon, the journey becomes grueling. McGregor, unaccustomed to the harsh conditions, struggles under the scorching sun, his posh demeanor fading with every mile. In stark contrast, Lily embraces the adventure, marveling at the vibrant wildlife and lush surroundings. She enthusiastically documents everything with her handheld camera, her passion for discovery shining through. Beautiful! Her curiosity extends to Frank, who reluctantly allows her to film him as well, amused by her excitement. Frank even tries the camera himself, revealing a softer side and hinting at a budding attraction between the two. That evening, as the boat anchors to rest the engine, the group takes a moment to relax. Better eat them before they eat you. While McGregor retires to the cabin early, Lily and Frank share a quiet conversation on the deck. "I want to help as many people as I can. Save the world." The moonlight reflects off the river as they discuss their motivations and dreams, growing increasingly at ease with each other. The tranquil moment hints at a growing bond, though both maintain their guarded exteriors. The peace is shattered when Proxima, a jaguar, climbs onto the deck, startling McGregor. To everyone's shock, Frank commands the animal to heel, revealing that Proxima is actually his pet. Proxima! Proxima! Lily's disbelief turns to fury as she accuses Frank of betraying her trust. Feeling humiliated and manipulated, she retreats, the fragile connection between them seemingly broken. Meanwhile, Joachim sets his sights on a new ally, traveling to the depths of the jungle. He discovers the cursed Conquistador Aguirre, whose body lies dormant near the riverbank. Pouring enchanted river water over Aguirre's remains, Joachim revives the ancient warrior. As Aguirre awakens, snakes slither from his form, a haunting reminder of his cursed existence. Joachim strikes a dangerous deal. In exchange for Aguirre's help locating the tears of the moon, Joachim will grant him freedom from the curse. Tempted by the chance to finally achieve his long-denied goal, Aguirre agrees. Joachim, true to his word, releases Aguirre and his men, setting them loose to pursue their mission with terrifying resolve. The next day, Frank's boat approaches a stretch of perilous rapids. The roaring waters are a stark reminder of the dangers they face. Despite her visible fear, Lily insists they press on, convinced the faster route is worth the risk. Frank reluctantly agrees, relying on his extensive experience to navigate the treacherous waters. The boat bobs and weaves through the swirling currents, the crew gripping tightly as each wave threatens to capsize them. At one point, they reach a near-deadly drop, the boat plunging sharply before crashing into calmer waters below. Everyone is left shaken and queasy. Even Proxima, Frank's loyal companion, succumbs to the chaos, leaning over the side of the boat alongside the humans to vomit. As the group pauses to gather wood for the engine, McGregor finds a moment to talk with Frank, opening up about his reasons for joining Lily on such a dangerous expedition. McGregor shares a deeply personal story. He reveals that after coming out as gay, his family turned their backs on him, except for Lily. She stood by him unwaveringly, defending him when no one else would. Now, out of gratitude and loyalty, McGregor follows her wherever she goes, even into the heart of the Amazon's dangers. Meanwhile, Lily's curiosity leads her to Frank's quarters. Rummaging through his belongings, she uncovers maps and documents detailing the legend of the Tears of the Moon. Confronting Frank, she accuses him of harboring a secret agenda, suspecting he wants the tree's magic for himself. Frank doesn't deny that this was once true. He admits that his original journey to the Amazon was motivated by greed and ambition. However, he insists that he abandoned that pursuit long ago, claiming he now only seeks to help Lily and McGregor succeed. Their tense exchange is interrupted when Frank's hired tribe stages a fake ambush on Lily and McGregor as part of one of Frank's cons. Oh shit! Armed with painted spears and intimidating war cries, the tribe surrounds the group, with Frank acting as their translator to maintain the illusion. However, Lily's sharp tongue and defiance unintentionally push the performance too far, forcing the tribe to break character and end the charade. Despite the awkwardness, Lily sees an opportunity and asks the tribe's chief to translate the inscriptions on the arrowhead. The chief reveals the cryptic instructions. The seeker of the tears of the moon must turn water into stone and mend a broken heart. She explains that the tree blooms only under the rare crying moon, which will occur in 2 days. The chief also mentions following the symbol of the serpent biting its own tail, a detail Lily recalls from her map. The Fong bites its tail. Oh my goodness! Excited by the newfound knowledge, Lily begins piecing together the next steps in their journey. Believing she no longer needs Frank's help, Lily decides to part ways. She pays him the remainder of his fee and makes plans to leave with McGregor. Frank, though visibly conflicted, lets her go without protest. That night, the village is thrown into chaos when Aguirre and his cursed conquistadors launch a surprise attack. The air fills with shouts and the clash of weapons as the cursed men, driven by their unrelenting need to find the arrowhead, storm the village. Each member of the group finds themselves locked in a fight for survival. Aguirre's men corner Lily, and a fierce struggle ensues. Although she fights valiantly, the conquistadors overpower her and seize the arrowhead. No! Before they can escape, Frank intervenes, taking on several of Aguirre's men in a desperate bid to protect Lily and McGregor. With sheer determination, he manages to retrieve the arrowhead and toss it back to Lily in the chaos. Aguirre stabs Frank, sending him plummeting from the treetops. Lily and McGregor, horrified, are forced to flee as the village chief urges them to escape beyond the river where the cursed men cannot follow. As they run, Aguirre's snakes, an extension of his curse, lash out and ensnare Lily. Just when it seems she will be captured, the jungle itself intervenes. Vines and roots spring to life, dragging Aguirre and his men back to the river's edge where they are bound once more by the curse. Realizing the limitations of his predicament, Aguirre sends bees as messengers to inform Joachim of the arrowhead's location. At dawn, Lily's despair turns to joy when she finds Frank alive. Frank, you're alive! But her relief is short-lived when McGregor notices a dagger still lodged in Frank's back. Shocked and confused, they demand an explanation. With reluctance, Frank reveals the truth. He is one of the cursed conquistadors. Before he can elaborate, Lily impulsively pulls the dagger from his chest. To her astonishment, Frank remains unharmed. McGregor, overwhelmed by the revelation, faints on the spot. Realizing that the journey ahead will be too perilous for her brother, Lily decides to continue with Frank alone. She bids an emotional farewell to McGregor, who stays behind with the villagers for his safety. Meanwhile, the bees Aguirre sent reach Joachim's submarine. The villain's crew watches in awe as the insects swarm, conveying their cryptic message. Joachim, ever resourceful, deciphers the information and learns the location of the arrowhead. With newfound determination, he rallies his men, preparing for the final leg of his pursuit. As Frank and Lily continue their journey upriver, Frank begins to open up about his long and tragic past. He reveals that over 400 years ago, he and Aguirre were close friends, united in their quest to find the tears of the moon. Aguirre's motivation was deeply personal. He sought the tree's petals to save his dying daughter. Frank, drawn by loyalty and hope, joined him on the perilous expedition. However, the greed and betrayal that followed led to their eternal curse, dooming them to wander the Amazon indefinitely. Frank's voice carries a note of sorrow as he shares the weight of 4 centuries of regret, revealing a man haunted by his choices, yet determined to make things right. As Frank and Lily sail deeper into the heart of the Amazon, Frank opens up about his haunting past. He reveals that he was once Aguirre's cartographer, responsible for mapping their treacherous journey to find the tears of the moon. Frank admits that the map Lily now holds was drawn by his own hand, a relic of his early ambitions. At first, Frank believed in Aguirre's mission to save his dying daughter. His faith shattered when Aguirre turned on the very tribe that saved their lives. When Aguirre tried to kill the chieftain's daughter to claim the arrowhead, Frank intervened, helping her escape with the artifact. Enraged by Frank's betrayal, Aguirre returned on him, But before he could act, the chieftain, with his dying breath, cursed them all to an eternal existence bound to the Amazon. The centuries that followed were brutal. Aguirre and Frank clashed repeatedly, their animosity growing with each encounter. Eventually, Frank devised a plan to trap Aguirre and his men in a hidden cave, a place where the jungle couldn't drag them back to the river. For 300 years, the jungle punished Aguirre and his followers, ravaging their bodies and transforming them into grotesque, monstrous forms. Frank, burdened with guilt, carried the weight of his actions but knew he had no choice. Lily listens intently, her curiosity tinged with sympathy. She asks how Frank has spent the centuries since. He shares that he built the small Amazonian town where she found him. "I made the best of it, built the town," creating a semblance of normalcy as he searched for the tears of the moon. Over time, Frank gained and lost countless friends, their mortal lives fleeting compared to his curse. He even built his beloved boat and explored the river endlessly but eventually gave up hope of finding the tree. Instead, he turned his attention to running tourist cruises, blending his survival with his knack for storytelling. Along the way, he adopted stray big cats, naming them affectionately Proxima, meaning next, being his most loyal companion. Meanwhile, Joachim, relentless in his pursuit, tracks down McGregor using his submarine, capturing him with ease. Joachim uses blackmail to force McGregor to reveal the location of the Tears of the Moon. McGregor, terrified but defiant, hesitates until Joachim threatens his sister's life. With no choice, McGregor gives in, providing Joachim the information he seeks. To ensure the Conquistadors remain in the dark, Joachim coldly destroys the bees that served as Aguirre's messengers, severing their connection to the cursed men. As Frank and Lily approach the same destination, Frank reflects on the meaning of his journey. When Lily asks what he would do if he obtained a petal from the mystical tree, Frank surprises her with his answer. After centuries of wandering, he longs not for power or immortality, but for rest, an end to his endless existence. The weight of his words lingers as the duo presses forward. The next day, their voyage takes them to a peculiar point in the river where the water appears to turn to stone, just as the arrowhead's inscription foretold. Eager to investigate, Frank dives into the river and discovers an ancient submerged chamber. However, the entrance is too narrow for him to proceed further, forcing Lily to confront her fear of water. With gentle encouragement, Frank convinces her to dive in alongside him. "It's okay, it's okay." Inside the chamber, the tension builds as Lily struggles to pull a lever that could reveal their next clue. Panicking as her breath runs out, she begins to falter. In a bold move, Frank shares his air with her through a kiss, calming her enough to complete the task. The lever activates, beginning to drain the water from the chamber, Frank fending off piranhas in the process. Keeps an eye on Lily as she waits for the water to recede completely. When Frank finds her seemingly unconscious, panic sets in until Lily abruptly awakens and slaps him for leaving her underwater. "What is the matter with you, Frank? How could you leave me?" Despite the slap, their shared ordeal strengthens their bond, a mix of tension and mutual respect now bubbling under the surface. As they regroup and get dressed, they realize they've uncovered the location of the Tears of the Moon, but their triumph is short-lived. As the last of the water drains away, Joachim emerges with McGregor in tow, his prisoner and bargaining chip. Worse still, one of Aguirre's bees has managed to follow Lily and Frank, carrying the tree's location back to the cursed conquistadors. Joachim wastes no time asserting control. Taking the arrowhead from Lily, he forces Frank to guide him and his men to the tree using Frank's steamboat. The group arrives at the mystical site, where the ancient tree appears lifeless, its bare branches stretching toward the sky. Joachim, frustrated, orders his men to investigate, but Lily notices something unusual about the arrowhead's design. She realizes it's more than just a key, it's shaped like a heart. With Frank's help, they break open the arrowhead, revealing a glowing magical piece inside. Placing it into the tree's core, they activate the mechanism just as the crying moon shines down. The transformation is breathtaking. The tree blooms spectacularly, its vibrant petals glowing with otherworldly energy. However, their awe is short-lived. Joachim seizes the opportunity to send his men forward, commanding them to harvest the petals at any cost. The fragile alliance between the adventurers and the villains crumbles as greed and ambition take over, setting the stage for a final showdown. The climax erupts into chaos as Frank and McGregor launch into action, fending off Joaquim's men in a desperate bid to protect the tears of the moon. With Proxima by their side, the group battles fiercely amidst the glowing, magical blooms of the tree. Meanwhile, Lily, laser-focused on her mission, races against time to pluck one of the precious petals before the moon sets. With the tree's petals glowing brightly and the mystical window of opportunity closing, she manages to grab a petal just in time. Her victory is short-lived. Joaquim, ever the cunning villain, seizes the moment to blackmail Lily, holding McGregor at gunpoint. He demands she hand over the petal in exchange for her and McGregor's lives. Before she can make her decision, the tree begins to collapse, its ancient roots pulling away from the earth. In the chaos, Lily drops the petal while saving herself from falling debris. Frank, ever resourceful, retrieves the fallen petal. Knowing the stakes, he makes a bold decision to lure Aguirre and his cursed conquistadors away from the group. Tell Lily she would have been well enough for me. As the jungle collapses around them, Frank leads Aguirre and his men onto his boat, steering it toward an ancient monument. In a final act of self-sacrifice, he crashes the boat into the structure, cutting off the river's flow into the cave. Deprived of their proximity to the river, Aguirre and his men are claimed by the jungle's curse. Their bodies turn to stone, frozen in time as a grim reminder of their greed. But Frank's sacrifice comes at a heavy cost. Without the river's protection, he too succumbs to the curse, his body stiffens, and he becomes stone alongside the conquistadors. Lily and McGregor, watching from the distance, are left heartbroken as they realize the extent of Frank's sacrifice. Determined not to let Frank's story end in tragedy, Lily makes a selfless choice. Despite her lifelong dream of using the tree's magic to help humanity, she decides to use the petal to break Frank's curse. She places it in his lifeless hand, hoping against hope that its magic can bring him back. First, nothing happens. Defeated, Lily and McGregor prepare to leave, their grief weighing heavily on them. As they begin their retreat, a familiar sound cuts through the silence, a joyous roar from Proxima. Turning back, Lily sees Frank alive once more, standing amidst the ruins of the tree. Overwhelmed with emotion, Lily runs to him, and they share a heartfelt embrace. The relief and gratitude in their eyes speak volumes, their bond now stronger than ever. As if in gratitude for their actions, the tree produces one final miraculous gift, another glowing petal. This time, Lily carefully plucks it, preserving a piece of the tree's magic as a keepsake of their incredible journey. With a petal in hand, the group makes their way back to the town. Their tiny raft is traded for a sturdier vessel from Nilo, who seems more amused than annoyed by their persistence. In the final scene, Lily and Frank are seen back in London, sharing a quiet moment of happiness, driving through the bustling streets in a sleek car. They exude a newfound sense of freedom and adventure. In the back seat, Proxima lounges comfortably, her presence a reminder of the wild and unforgettable journey that brought them here. The camera pans out as the trio drives into the sunset, ready for whatever adventure comes next. Frank and Lily's journey reminds us that true treasure isn't always what we first seek. Sometimes, it's the connections we make along the way that become our greatest reward. Frank spent centuries searching for a way to end his curse, only to discover that what he really needed was someone worth living for. This adventure teaches us that sacrifice for those we care about is the most powerful magic of all. Sometimes letting go of our original dreams opens the door to something even more beautiful. If you enjoyed this journey down the Amazon, don't forget to hit that like button. It helps more adventurers find our channel. Now I'm curious. If you had one petal from the tears of the moon that could heal anything, what would you use it for? Share your answer in the comments below. And if you want more incredible movie journeys that will transport you to new worlds every week, subscribe now and join our growing community of story lovers. Adventure awaits with every new video.